Hey guys, it's Merrick, and this is the Review Corner.
Who's gonna take it back to the past? To play the shitty games that suck ass.
Today, I'm not reviewing anything. I know, why am I even here then? It's been a while, 2 months, I think, 2 or 3 months. Life has been not crazy hectic, but I've just really not had the time or felt inspired to make a review. I have two that I want to do. Another Fiona Apple, and then Fleetwood Mac. Shout out Carrington. I just wanted to hop on here and just kind of talk about what music means to me, I guess. These past 2 months have been kind of crazy for me in my own head. I've been writing some songs. Me and a friend have made a band that we're trying to get started a little bit, working through emotions of romantic feelings for people, working through emotions of friend kind of breakdowns, who I still want in my life. I'm changing as a person, and who do I want there with me throughout the rest of my life, you know? And the thing is, I'm 19. My life is going to change drastically. I still have a lot of life ahead of me, but there's still now people that I just, I've changed as a person, they've changed as a person, and it's time for us to part ways. So I've been thinking about that a lot and writing about that a lot. And with that, the way that I write and the things that I write, it's all meant for music. It's not poems, it's not proses, even though they might be written like a prose or like a poem. They're meant to be sung, or at least be behind some kind of music. And I've just been thinking about, what is it about music that is so tantalizing to me? Why is it such a big comfort to me, and why is it the thing that I always seem to go back to? I haven't really found an answer. I think, there's just some things that people feel more inclined to be a part of, I guess, than other things. And I think a big reason why I'm so into music is it's kind of ingrained in my soul. My dad, he was a pianist, and my uncle, Mark, I never got to meet him, but he was super into music, and he taught himself how to play the guitar, and he had a bunch of records, and he liked making mixtapes, and that was a huge passion of his. And my mom always says that I'm like a girl version of him. Yeah, growing up, it was just something that was a part of me. My mom was never super musical, but she liked listening to music. She loved listening to music, and my grandma knew how to sing. And I guess, my first sort of experiences with music was the radio. We would always have the radio playing when we were in the car. At one point, I could sing every song that was on the radio on C95. That was the radio we always had on. Not anymore, I don't really listen to the radio anymore, but at one point I could do that, and I think it just kind of spiraled from there. I wanted to be in band. I did band, and I got pretty good at it. I was in a university orchestra when I was a teenager. I'm still a teenager, but you know what I mean. I learned how to play the ukulele when I was 8 or 9. I haven't played that in a while, but after that I learned how to play the guitar. I can't say that I'm the best instrumentalist in the world, and I could practice so much more than I do, but it's still a part of me. I think my biggest strength is singing, but I loved choir, and I sing for church, and I have sung for my friends, and I show my friends some of my pieces that I've made, and I've uploaded them occasionally on here, and it's just something that brings me so much peace, and I can't imagine living without it. That's kind of been what I've been thinking about a lot, is why does music affect me and affect, people in general. I just realized my fan was on. It was probably quite loud, sorry. To me, music it's a way that anyone across the world can connect without knowing the other person's language, spoken language. We can be moved by the same pieces even if we don't understand the lyrics, I don't know. I just wanted to ramble. I know this isn't a review, but just talking about music in any way, shape, or form is just something that I want to do and love to do. I think what drives me to love music so much is how much we need it in life. Imagine a movie with no music, Imagine a party with no music. That'd be kind of lame. It brings people together in a crazy way, I think almost everyone in the world probably knows the lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody. You guys know that video of, I think it's a Green Day concert, and they start playing Bohemian Rhapsody, and, the entire crowd is singing it? You can't do that with the Bee Movie. Not everyone knows the Bee Movie script by heart, I think it has a certain way of moving us to connect to other people. And I mean, that can really be seen in, metal and hardcore shows in general. Mosh pits and all that. It's a community builder thing. It's not just because people want to hit other people. It's a stress reliever, and it's a community builder. When people fall down, you pick them right back up, and you just go at it. And it's the sense of these people understand this music the way that I understand it, and we can just explode, I guess, together. I was at a punk show yesterday, and there's a guy that kept flinging himself back into the crowd. He would jump onto my shoulders and the guy beside me shoulder, and he was just flinging back. And it was a ton of fun, music just releases something inside of you that a book wouldn't, that a poem wouldn't, You could say songs are poems, though, right? I can't imagine someone at a spoken poetry reading would be moshing. But even outside of moshing, at other shows and stuff, when you're together and you're listening to that music, it's this shared emotion. And I think you can get that at movies and stuff as well, movie theaters. If everyone's into the movie, it's a really good time. I think I love music because it gives me the ability to understand other people. And that's not to say without music I wouldn't understand other people, but I think it gives me the opportunity to see into other people's lives and be able to relate to their experiences. One song that I've always thought, this is one of the songs that I have never related to a song as much as I've related to this one, Shadow Boxer by Fiona Apple. And it's about her best friend who kind of led her on and would compliment her and come back to her, and then, oh, we're just friends, whatever. Kind of that. When I first listened to that song, it was over, man. It was over. The situation that I was in at the time, it was this is, wow, Fiona, you done it again. I've never been able to relate to a movie like that or a book like that before. Of course I've related to movies, and I've related to a book, and I've related to just poems in general, but music has this way of, you're given the opportunity to just insert yourself into it, and no one listens to the same song the same way as another person. You aren't going to get the same meaning out of it. You're not going to get the same perspective out of it. One song that I can think of that's like that is American Girl by Mitski. It's quite controversial, the perspective of this song. A lot of people say that you can't make a meaning out of it, that isn't what the song is about, because American Girl by Mitski, apologies if I get it wrong, but this is what I remember. It's about, her experience as an Asian American in the dating pool and dating white men, and how her parents raised her differently, and it's very apparent kind of what the song is about when you look at the lyrics. But a lot of people, they take that song into their own meaning, and Mitski's said in interviews before that, she leaves her songs up to interpretations, but some people believe that you can't with certain songs, especially songs like that. But I think no matter what, people are going to make their own perspectives out of songs, even if you say you can't. And as important as music is, the silence is just as important. And is also music, to be able to sit in silence with no sound is just as profound as listening to a song that feels like it was written about you. You have to appreciate the moments of still to appreciate the moments of loud or beautiful or serene noises and notes. I think a song that uses silence really well is Clair de Lune. It's not like a silent song, but those small breaks, those drawn out notes that lead to silence, it leaves you to think, and it leaves you to imagine. And I think that's what really drives my love for music, is not only the connection, but the imagination. Because every song has an image, and that image is unique to you, and it's unique to your brain. And I think that's beautiful. But yeah, no, me and my friend, we were trying to make a band. We recorded a song, and it's hard. It's hard to make music with other people. I mean, I don't know how he feels, but for me it's hard, because I find it to be such a personal act to make music. The lyrics that I write are so extremely personal, and to share that with other people, let alone like a band member, who's a friend of mine, is scary. It's scary to be that vulnerable, and yet I want to share it, and I want this connection, because why make music if not to connect? Why make music if not to be heard? But in other news, I do have plans for this channel. I do have plans. Like I said, I do have 2 reviews that I want to do, Fleetwood Mac and Fiona Apple. I have researched mostly for the Fiona Apple one. I haven't done any research for the Fleetwood Mac one, but I've had a couple song requests from people. Paige, shout out. I also might post some original stuff, especially if me and my friend, if we, actually get together again to record, but be on the lookout for that. Yeah, so this was a nothing burger of a video. I just kind of wanted to ramble about music. I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking about myself a lot, and why I write the things that I write. And it's just expression, Some people express it through media, like photos. Some people express it through film. Some people express it through art, painting. I express it through lyricism. I think that's where I really shine. I can play the guitar, not great, and I can sing pretty well, but I think what truly drives me to keep creating is lyrics and writing. Yeah, I don't know. The meaning of music. Who knows, right? Listen, I'll see you guys later. I don't know how late that will be, maybe in the next month or so, but I'll be back.